Squawk 7700. Notify the cabin crew.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel Captain SQ, where we're going to discuss on Airbus systems, emergency procedures, and supplementary techniques on how to fly the plane.
What's up, ladies and gents? Wait, did I mention ladies? Welcome to A320 Emergency Descent. Disclaimer, always refer to your company manuals. This video is merely a guide. And before we start, do click on the like button, subscribe, and press the bell for more updates. Okay, let us dive in. Here are some of the examples of a pressurization malfunction. This is not limited to the aircraft type, but all pilots do practice this procedure regardless of what jet aircraft they fly. Number 1, a system malfunction that allows we pilots to restore. The rise in cabin altitude that is slow and allows us enough time to control the malfunction. Number 2, a system malfunction that cannot be restored and the pilots descend to 10,000 feet or MEA. To refresh your memory, MEA, minimum en route altitude, is the lowest altitude to be flown in an airspace structure which assures reception of navigation aids necessary to navigate along the route, two-way communication with ATC, safe clearance from obstacles, and conformity with any ATC procedures. Number 3, a sudden, uncontrollable and excessive cabin altitude which requires an emergency descent to 10,000 feet or MEA. What are the indications? Cabin altitude will rise, it starts to pulse in green at 8,800 feet and turns red at 9,550 feet. Master warning. The cabin differential pressure will decrease rapidly or be at zero. Okay, let us look at the worst case scenario. Here we will perform one of the Airbus memory items. Any pilot that notices any excessive cabin altitude rise announces emergency descent. Both pilots don oxygen mask. Once you don your oxygen mask, remember to wear again your headset. Both crew establish communications. The pilot flying will immediately initiate the descent. Recommendation is to use the autopilot and auto thrust unless you want to make it hard for yourself. Well, that's what she said. Anyway, select the FCU going from right to left. Altitude, turn and pull. Heading, turn and pull. Speed, pull. Announce the FMA. Speed brakes full. If autopilot is on, only half speed brakes will be extended. Now, what are the pilot monitoring memory items? Signs on. Check the FMA. Now, second step. So right now the aircraft is descending. The pilot flying refined the settings, the altitude. You can double check by looking at the ND, the heading, and make sure you consider terrain and also oxygen escape routes. The pilot monitoring will then perform the ECAM actions or refer to the QRH if there's no ECAM. Choose your speed depending if there is damage to your aircraft. If there is a structural damage, then probably a good idea to maintain current speed. If no damage, well then accelerate. Speedy Gonzales. If cabin altitude goes above 14,000 feet, the crew must press mask man on. Rate of descent with high speed and speed brakes extended is approximately 7,000 feet per minute. From flight level 390 to flight level 100, it takes about 4 minutes and 40 nautical miles. Therefore, beware of the highest MORA displayed on the ND within a radius of 40 nautical miles around the aircraft. Additional considerations will be the gear can be lowered at 25,000 feet, but then you would have to slow down to 250 knots, then accelerate back to 280 knots. Using speed brakes might stress the airframe if there is a structural damage, so keep that in mind. Notify air traffic control. Squawk 7700. Notify the cabin crew. When you are reaching your descent height, you will see Alt Star on your FMA. Retract the speed brakes. Check that your autopilot and auto thrust is still engaged and reduce your speed. Take off your oxygen mask and reset the control slide to deactivate the mask microphone. And tell your cabin crews the descent is complete.